out of. What we would call anxiety is very close to worry in the sense that you have that, we'll keep back up to our picture, fear response, and then worry comes across here. Anxiety just is that bar, but not attached to any specific biological stimulus, right? So the bill comes, you go into fear, and then you worry about that, and you stay at that level of fear, right? Mm-hmm. When you're in anxiety, you've detached your anxiety from any specific stimulus. We might say trigger. The trigger, the stimulus is gone. So instead of having a pattern where you can say, I was in fear, okay, I paid that bill, back down to baseline, instead of I was in fear, worry, like that, like we showed before. When you're in anxiety, chronic anxiety especially, you're here and you don't know why. Mm-hmm. And this is why you have to be conscious. You have to learn to be conscious. It's because if you're constantly in anxiety with no attachment to this, there's no solution to that. The only solution is to make the choice for consciousness. That's why we have so many tools to help you guys, is because this is very common. You know, if we had worry be a line, anxiety is a bar, right? And then panic attacks, you know, that's kind of a diagnosis thing, and we try to stay away from diagnosis type things, but what the underlying energetic of panic attacks is when you've done this fear response, worry, and then you double down and you get another fear response and another fear response. At some point, your body overloads. And a panic attack really looks like overload. And again, not diagnosing anyone, but what we would say is if you find yourself in panic attack, the solution, or a helpful solution, is to go to what is true now, get in the moment as best you can, and ask yourself, is this feeling attached to a specific subject? Is this feeling attached to something specific? Because again, if fear is a biological response to stimulus, all these other pictures that we're calling all these different words are way up here. And you want to get back to down here where you can do something about it. Track it back to what you can actually do something about. And that's very difficult to do if you're not in the moment. Because a lot of times all of this business here is past, future, all that anxiety, that bar. Where does that anxiety come from? All those layers of worry stacked on top of each other. So you've got worry about money when I was 5, worry about money when I was 10, worry about money when I was 15, etc., 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 becomes anxiety about money. And we've said it before, do you have a bill to pay today? No, but you're thinking about money nonstop. Therefore, it's not connected to an actual biological stimulus. It's trapped in that band of anxiety that really is habitual response. And it's so habituated, you think it's the cause, but it's not. It's not the cause. Because you don't know what the cause is anymore, because you're up here. So what we would love to see people be able to do is have a stimulus, have a biological response to that. You're going to have a very hard time getting completely away from fear. You're going to have a strong response. At the moment when you're having that strong response, being aware that you're having that strong response and being aware that you have a choice. And that choice can turn back and come back down to baseline where you say, whew, okay. And then you come at it from consciousness. You come at it from, I don't have to go into the habituated band of anxiety or habituated pattern of worry in order to have a solution to this situation. In fact, the solution does not exist up there. The solution is not up there. But that's the only place you've known to look for it. And that's why we say if thinking could have solved it, it would have solved it long ago, because you sure have thought about it enough. That's where thinking happens, is in that band of anxiety. But the truth of the matter is back where the stimulus happened. The loud sound outside, that's what needs to be looked at. You need to go outside and see if something's fallen over or if there's something out there you need to be worried about. Not just go, and the panic attack on top of that debilitates you. In essence, kind of paralyzes you, and you can't act because it's down here. But a lot of this has been trained to not look at down here because there's a perception that down here is the problem, when really the problem is hanging out in the place where you can't make a change. That's the problem if we're talking